Hi everyone. So today I am making hot milk cake. The specialty is that it's not a maida hot milk cake, it's a whole wheat hot milk cake. Alright, so let's get started. So for the recipe we require 1 cup whole wheat, half cup curd, half cup sugar, 1 teaspoon baking powder, half teaspoon baking soda, 2 tablespoons milk powder, 1/4 cup dry fruits or chocolate chips, 1 teaspoon vanilla essence, 1/4 cup hot full cream milk and 1/4 cup oil. So here is my flour mixture. So I've already mixed whole wheat flour and the 1 teaspoon baking powder and the 2 tablespoons milk powder with my flour. Alright, here is my curd. I've taken chocolate chips for toppings. I like chocolate chips, to top my cake with. I have not used the regular sugar. I have used khand over here. And here is my 1/4 cup oil and 1/4 cup hot milk. Alright, so first we're going to start with mixing the curd, sugar and baking soda. Alright, so here I have taken the curd. Just scrape out everything, whatever you see in your katori or cup, scrape it out. Okay, once you've scraped out, mix sugar into it. Okay, and what does it say? Half teaspoon baking soda. So I'm going to mix half teaspoon baking soda into it. So this is my half teaspoon. It's a heaped one. No, it is not. So we will level it. We need a leveled baking soda. In fact, whenever you have to measure anything, baking powder or baking soda, it says 1 teaspoon or 1 tablespoon. We never take a heaped spoon. We always take a leveled one. Okay, so we're going to mix it. So if you can see, we already have bubbles forming here because of the baking soda. So the soda has already started to react. Alright, so we're going to mix. Okay, I've mixed it and we need to keep this aside for 5 minutes. Alright, and now I'm going to sieve my flour. So we need to sieve our flour mixture at least 3 times. The reason we have to sieve our flour is so that we get a very light flour. Okay, a nice light and airy flour, and that's how we're going to get a beautiful cake. So we sieve it thrice. Guys, it's a very important step. We should never miss this step of sieving the flour, whether you're working with wheat flour or whether you're working with maida. So you can see that we have a nice airy flour. I've sifted it 3 times already now. Okay, now we need to mix. If you can see my curd mixture, it is nice, bubbly and frothy. Okay, so to this I'm going to mix in the oil, the 1/4 cup oil that I have. Always make sure to use a regular refined oil, no flavor, it should be a flavorless oil. And to this I'm going to mix in 1 teaspoon of vanilla essence. Alright, so here I am using an IFF vanilla essence, the Bush company that we get. It's a beautiful vanilla essence, 1 teaspoon and you're good to go. So again, I'm mixing my curd mixture. I've put in the oil and the vanilla essence into it. Okay, and now you can see the oil is reducing, the bubbles have started to reduce. Okay, now we have to mix the dry ingredients into the wet mixture. Alright, so now we need to mix our flour mixture into the curd mixture. Okay, we will not put it at once, we will put it in batches. So since it is only 400 grams or 1 cup of flour, I will mix it into 2 batches, and we will use the cut and fold method. So that's how I cut, and so that's how I fold and then I cut. I fold and I cut. I fold and I cut. I fold and I cut. Fold and I cut. So we need to mix it, making sure that there are no lumps. Okay. Now since this is a no maida recipe, you might feel that the cake is dense or not like a regular maida cake. But don't worry, that doesn't mean that the cake isn't cooked. Okay, it's going to be a nice lovely cake. So we've got the flour together, if you see, and wheat cakes always taste good. You can also replace the regular oil with coconut oil. You will get a nice flavor. Okay, so I have mixed the mixture. Okay, we just make sure not to over mix it, otherwise you will get those unnecessary cracks which we don't want on the cake. So once the mixture is mixed properly, we will add in the hot milk. Okay. It will be a beautiful cake, guys, trust me. If you have a hand beater, you can use a hand beater as well, the flat paddle. You can also participate in the 30 days, the ultimate 30 days of baking challenge with me. You can visit my page for details on Facebook. Just search for Blossoms for You, BLOSSOMS numeric 4 and U, and participate in it. It's really an amazing journey, an amazing challenge. Baking for 30 days. You can bake anything, even a savory item, cakes, donuts, whatever you want to bake, post, tag your friends into it, encourage others to participate into it. Okay, so now you can see I have a beautiful beautiful batter created here for the cake. Okay, and now time to line the tin. So to line the tin, you need a loaf pan to start with. Okay, I am using this one because I'm really excited to use it. Since it's new, I just bought it and I was super excited to use it. We need to grease our pan first. Okay, just take some oil and grease the bottom of the pan, grease the sides even. It gets easier for you to demold your cakes. Okay, now you need a parchment paper or a butter paper. Place it on the bottom, place it nicely. Okay, if you feel that these are the extra edges, you can even go ahead, feel free to cut it off. I don't feel like cutting it off, and that is the reason I'll just keep it as it is. Take some more oil, okay, and grease the paper as well. The reason we've greased the bottom first and then put in the paper there is so that the paper wouldn't move. Okay, so here I have now greased the paper also. Alright, and now I will pour the cake batter into it. You can make it into a round tin as well. The reason, we're baking this cake into a square or a rectangular loaf tin is because the tea cake comes out to be really beautiful. So you might come across multiple recipes, and every recipe that people post online, so every recipe has got its science behind it. So here I have poured the batter into my cake tin. Okay, I will just scrap out. Make sure your fingers are, your hands are clean, washed properly. And whenever you bake, just make sure that your hands are washed properly. You of course don't want kids eating, or any member of your family eating germed cake. Alright, so I have transferred the batter here. And now time to put some toppings. If you don't have chocolate chips, you can also use roasted almonds, roasted broken almonds, walnuts, raisins. If you still want to use chocolates and you still do not have chocolates, you can always take Amul dark chocolate and you can just roughly chop it and use them. Just top it on your cake. Once you've topped it, just swirl it a little, so that the chocolates would just go, it would stick to the batter, and some of it would also just. So here it is, my batter is ready, and now we're going to bake it at 180 degrees for 20 to 25 minutes depending on the size of your oven. So first we need to preheat our oven for 10 minutes at 180, and then we bake the cake. Always remember to preheat your ovens first, alright, at 180 for 20 to 25 for 10 minutes, preheat it, and then we bake our cakes at 180, not less than that or not more than that. It might end up either not cooking your cake properly or not baking your cake properly, burning it if it's more. You can also bake it at about 170 or something. That's called slow baking. Just make sure to increase the temperature. Alright guys, now I'm going to put it in the oven and then I'll post the picture soon. Make this recipe, use it, bake the cake and tell me how it was. Alright, signing off, Natasha Verma from Blossoms For You. Bye, take care, have fun.